My name is Shane. I'm part of the Solve Network with Benjamin Goss. I'd like to thank you for joining us on this guest expert series. As a reminder, we have these the first and third Thursday of every month. Each call is with a guest expert in a different industry or area. Most people are coaches, mentors, or consultants. We have all kinds of people. So if you'd like to join us on a live call, it'll give you a chance to not only learn more about someone that you may not know, but get a chance to get your questions or your specific situation spoken to by an expert one-on-one. Of course, we send out the recordings and the notes in an email. So if you'd like to join our email list, you can always go to thesolvenetwork.com and sign up. And we're always looking for new guest experts. Although we are booked out through the end of the year, we are taking new speakers for next year. So feel free to contact us if you'd like to come on and run a call by giving a presentation yourself. So without further ado, I'm just gonna remind everyone to mute yourself, and we're gonna have Lena come on and do her presentation. And when she's finished, we'll have plenty of time to have you ask your questions and have a nice discussion with her afterwards. So Lena, take it away.
Awesome. Okay, so hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining. And my name is Lena Frenzel. I have the pleasure to speak in front of this amazing group today. And for those of you who don't know me, I am a coach and I'm located out of Laguna Beach. And yeah, I wanted to start with a more interesting intro so that you guys have an idea of who it is actually that's presenting today. I think a lot of times, we get into the business right away, but I like to give you guys a little bit of a personal background so you know where I'm coming from and how I actually built what is now Lucid Achievement, my coaching company. So here you can see some actually really funny photos from me as a child, age 7 and age 9. There's this little innocent kid. And at that time, I was actually very, very sick. I was in and out of hospitals. I had inflammation all over my body. I had a bunch of chronic illnesses that doctors honestly gave up on me. They couldn't really figure out how to help me going forward. And it really brought me to a point where I knew like I had to figure stuff out by myself. And fast forward to 16 years old, it's my first road trip to the United States with my dad. And it was such a mind-opening experience. I was coming from the small town, was always sick, kind of isolated. I didn't like my life. I didn't have anything to work towards, nothing inspiring, and came to the United States and saw people full with opportunity, people traveling everywhere, doing great things. I was like, wow, I really want to live here for maybe 6 months or so and come back to this place. That was my dream. And that was the first thing that kind of gave me something to work for. And here I am, actually, only a few years later, age 22, I did it. I landed an internship in California and I came out here by myself for 6 months. I didn't know anybody, and it was the best 6 months of my life. And I totally loved being in Laguna Beach. It really filled me with a special kind of energy that Laguna Beach in California has. It's a very beautiful place full of nature and amazing coastline. And that, for me, that was the moment where I knew I wanted to live here for good. And I made a second promise to myself. I wanted to live in Laguna Beach. That was the thing that really kept me going. And actually, I kind of skipped over this, which is the most important part. Right here when I was so sick, the moment when people gave up on me, doctors gave up on me, and I had that first dream, I started taking things in my own hand, and I was working myself backwards through every possible thing that you can do in terms of health, nutrition, meditation, mindset, and just tried everything to fix myself. And by the time I got here, I actually healed a lot of these chronic pains that I had and chronic illnesses by just completely changing everything about my lifestyle. which is crazy because I was basically still a kid, but I knew that no one's going to help me. So I just did a lot of research and worked myself through this journey and continue to do so, and still doing so, of course. Fast forward 20 years old, in 2015, I came over here to get my master's. And, you know, it's like really a journey of, wow, here's this crazy dream, like go to the United States totally by yourself, know nobody, and just do it. And like every single time I just did it, and I kept getting more energized by realizing anything is possible, you know. And as I was getting my master's, I met my first boyfriend, and you know, at that time, I really fixed my health a lot. I was implementing healthy routines. I was really looking into my spirit. You know, what is it that makes my heart sing, and getting closer and closer to something that works for me. The culture around me in Germany didn't work for me so well. And there wasn't even these kinds of opportunities. And here I was aligning myself more and more with something that really felt good for me, and I could see my body healing through that as well. And so, of course, I was feeling better, and opportunities opened up for me to work at Google and Facebook and YouTube up in Silicon Valley, and we moved there together. And as the contracts were coming to an end, I really discovered, I was thinking, okay, now, you know, I have this relationship. What is next for me? Where do I want to go? And I was meeting with a life coach at a time, and I said, well, I really would love to be a life coach in Laguna Beach, but that's crazy because Laguna Beach, in case you guys are maybe not so familiar, it's a pretty expensive place to live in. You know, it's prime coastal real estate, and in my mind, there were those beliefs that, well, I mean, of course, this would be my dream, but that's crazy. You know, you're only so young that no one's going to give you that ticket. Who are you to ask for it, you know? But looking back to it, who was I to ask for anything? You know, I was a sick child in Germany, making a dream to live in California, and I pulled that one off, and another one, and another one. And so the coach, it was just one session. After she told me that I'm not coachable, she also said, just do it. And I was like, yeah, why not? So I just did it. And fast forward, we moved here, and after finding myself pretty much in the last job that I said to myself I'm ever going to work in, I said, okay, I'm going to start these two companies. And based on my background, you know, one of them is a marketing company, Lucid Strategies, and the other one is my coaching company, and that's Lucid Achievement. And with the coaching company, my goal was really to take those things that I've learned. You know, I have been at that place where you hit the rock bottom. For my case, I'm very grateful it happened so early, because you know, for some people it comes later in life and they have to catch up on all the great learnings that you learn when you're in pain and suffering. You know, it's really a gift. For me, gratefully, I was messed up really early and I had to do my own homework. And so along that journey, I've learned so much. And mainly that if you don't have your bases right, you know, if you don't have your health, if you're not in alignment with your spirit, with your soul, emotionally aligned, you can absolutely not high perform in any area. And so when I really trace back my journey, you can really see, once I figured out those basics, high performance was, you know, working in Silicon Valley companies and getting all these opportunities. It's a side effect. It comes when you have your basics right. And that's really the foundation of Lucid Achievement. And then I just touched base on that. And so what I've really learned is that you can achieve anything you want. You know, when you really want something, you can break it down, you can visualize it, you can manifest it. Really anything is possible. That's just what I learned, because I asked for the craziest things in my mind that made no sense. And I can help my clients get there as well. So yeah, 2000 and pre-2020, keep skipping forward. Pre-2020 was really about manifesting an achievement for a lot of us. But then after 2020, that's a different time. And that's really when we talk about total transformation, right? Because what happened in 2020? A global pandemic is shaking up our personal lives, our professional lives, our spiritual lives. And what I've come to see is that absolutely everything that we knew was already kind of not so good, kind of crumbling. Maybe we were in a career that felt good, but not quite the right thing. The relationship, maybe there were some issues, but you just kind of put it under the rug. You have space, you can just go to a bar and forget about it. All those things that are our foundation, of those 3 pillars, they are being shaken right now, left and right, in our businesses. If your business is not digital already or has a digital component, it is being put to the test. And if you have rigid ways of thinking in business or personal life, it is being put to the test. It will probably not be something that will help you get through this crisis. So all those shortcomings that we may have had, that we were ignoring, that we were pushing to the side, that we were not absolutely bringing to the surface ourselves and working through it before this happened, they're being brought to the surface now. And it is an absolutely incredible time for transformation for all of us right now. And things that were broken to begin with will crumble down and go away. So right now is the time to take a step back. It is, I'm sure you know all the coaching programs, the rah-rah Tony Robbins, get more motivated, do more, achieve more, make more money, level up, get in that next house, but that's not the time right now. The time right now is to look inward, and it is to really figure out, how did I get here? A lot of times we're really good in getting things, even getting things quick, manifesting quick. I manifested an amazing tech jobs quickly, and it's not bad by any means, but I'm glad that I do regular check-ins with myself to see, okay, is this where I want to go? And you can have the money, you can have the outward fulfillment, but ultimately, if this is something that is even now slightly misaligned within yourself, and you do this over many, many years, it creates a big divide that's costing you a lot of energy, potentially depression, mental health issues, relationship issues, and it keeps stacking up. That's what we see now. It is the collapse of something that has been stacking up for a lot of people for a long time, and that's because they were able to be complacent. They can just make the big money and take that money, bring it to the bar, and numb that nagging question in the back of their heads out. That question that says, is that really all of it? What about the thing that you want to do when you're 25 and you're 40 and you're trying to lift up your kid and it's like, oh, my back, oh gosh, I've gained 20 pounds. How did I get here? Pause, 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 pause. This is the kind of collective moment we're in right now. And now is a time to ask yourself, what do you really want? Not what you thought you should do, not, what will make your parents happy or your spouse happy or complacent or not upset anyone, you know, this is the time to ask yourself, what do you really want? And by really, I mean the stuff that scares you, the stuff that you've been pushing under the rug because this is not going to work so well going forward. And we all have to rethink everything right now anyway, so you might as well do it right. There's this amazing quote from Jim Carrey that says, if you can fail at what you don't want, you might as well fail at what you want. Or you might as well try to fail at what you want. You might as well give it a shot. You know, how many people have been in a corporate job that they thought was secure, and they've been choosing that and paying a cost for it with their soul, and are not now getting laid off for the so-called security? While someone who may have chosen their passion and built the small Etsy shop or small online store has more security now, quote unquote, than that person in a tourism corporate job. It's really an illusion, and all these illusions and beliefs are breaking down and crumbling down. And I invite you in this moment in time to ask yourself, with those dreams, what is keeping you from doing that you really want to do? And the chances are that that answer is some form of excuse, some form of justification, something, and that is to be investigated. That is my work. This is something that I'm addressing in my latest program. You only live once. We do not know when we will take our last breath. This has brought it into the collective consciousness for all of us. How long do you have? You don't know. You could be gone in a year. What are you going to make out of your next 50 years or your next 3 years? We don't know if we even have 3 more years. We just don't know. So we might as well ask for it. This is the perfect time to go inward. Some of you guys now possibly have had experiences with coaching or therapy and whatnot. And what I have come to see after doing intense work on myself and working through the stuff on my own is, when we try to change, the old paradigm was, change your actions, feel better, think positive and all that stuff. But we're not really going deep to the root causes that are guiding our action and infusing them with the right purpose and alignment to actually cause a different manifestation. At some point, if we just say, we can try to outwork something, we can try to really push it, but if while we do that, we still think, I'm not good enough, or this is not gonna work, you will not get to that outcome that you really want. You're gonna keep self-sabotaging. And so those are the cycles that I see with people that have been really trying to work on things and they're getting frustrated. So for this purpose, I have built a program, and I call it Beyond the Mind, because what I've come to see is that our mind is a great servant, but a really bad master. Most of us really have never taken the time to really question our thoughts, really question our beliefs, and go beyond our mind. Our mind is a constant stream of chatter, and it brings up all kinds of stuff. And what I've come to see with this method that I've developed of self-inquiry is that our thoughts are not even true. 90% of the things that we think and believe is not even true when we actually look at it. And so it is very hard to do that by yourself. It really helps working in a certain program or with a facilitator or coach that can guide you through it. So when have you really taken the time to take that assessment for yourself? Have you taken that time? Possibly not. So in this program, Beyond the Mind, we really check in, you know, where are you right now, mentally, emotionally, physically. Then I send you on a lucid vision quest. I have a certain process that I guide my clients through, where they get some secret questions and they go to a special place and really journal down those hard questions. It's a collection of the best questions I was able to find in the last 10 years. Questions that you don't ever ask yourself, but that actually get you to the root, really uncomfortable questions. And then right now, what are we doing? You know, the quarantine, people may have thought that once we're all at home, we're going to get on top of all of our stuff, we're going to work out from home, we're going to have all these amazing habits. And the reality is people are drowning themselves out with media and alcohol, drugs, all kinds of things just to avoid. And so when I start shifting clients onto this new daily routine that I've come to see works really, really well to activate them, put them on track for the day, they come to see what they've been avoiding. So for example, when you actually turn off the TV at 9, when you usually used to scroll, you know, my clients would tell me, oh my gosh, you know, that's when I've been escaping. And these are the kinds of questions I'm escaping. So integrating that into your daily routine actually connects you back with yourself and even allows you the space to answer those questions for yourself. And then number 4 is self-inquiry. So some of you guys might be familiar with this technique. It is, I very much lean on the technique of Katie Byron, who uses the work. And it's a process of really writing down your beliefs, and then there's a way that I facilitate you answering them for yourself, and you come to see all the stories, all the beliefs that your mind creates, and what that does, and how everything that in your mind is good or bad in your life is really not a result of what's happening, but your thoughts. And when you actually change your thoughts, you change your feeling, your outcome, your good or bad immediately, even when the circumstance is the same. And so that is absolutely a game changer for my clients. I can't exaggerate enough. It's like you come out of it and it's like you see the sun for the first time. You see the sky being blue. It feels like the answers to your whole life are given to you. And when you do this over and over, it's like breaking up the structure of the old self that was so attached to knowing how it is, knowing why it can't work. And all of a sudden, you can't believe it anymore because you feel actually it's not true. You feel actually how you've self-sabotaging yourself. You feel that it's right there to grab it, and it's beautiful. I mean, the transformations that I get to see, I mean, a strong man, you know, starting to break down and see that they've been doing this to themselves. And it was all right there the whole time. And they go and they grab it and they're reborn. Yeah, that is the program. And I invite you guys all, even if it's not through this program, do something like that for yourself. You know, this is the time to take a step back and really think about these questions.